Can you imagine the sheer heart-stopping terror of turning around for just a second, only to find your child has vanished into thin air? The sun is dipping below the horizon, the shadows are stretching long over the village, and the air feels suddenly heavy. This isn't just a parent's nightmare. In Indonesia, this is the moment people whisper a name that sends chills down every spine. Wewe Gombel. Right now, as the orange light fades, a frantic mother is searching the dense foliage behind her house, screaming a name that will never be answered by anything human. Something is watching from the canopy, and it isn't friendly.
Now, hey everyone. Today we are diving into one of the most iconic and bone-chilling figures in Asian folklore. Wewe Gombel isn't your typical ghost who just wants to jump scare you. She's far more complex, and honestly, her story is as heartbreaking as it is terrifying. Often described as a tall woman with incredibly long, sagging breasts and a wild mane of hair, she doesn't hunt for blood. She hunts for children who are neglected or mistreated by their parents. It's a dark irony, right? A monster that thinks it's being a savior. Let's peel back the layers of this curse and see what really hides in the twilight hours of Java.
To understand the curse, we have to go back to when she was still human. Legend says she was once a woman deeply in love, but she was cursed with the inability to have children. In her village, this was seen as a mark of shame. Her husband eventually betrayed her, leading to a spiral of madness and tragedy that ended in her taking her own life. But the pain didn't die with her. It transformed. She became the Wewe Gombel, a spirit fueled by the maternal instinct she was denied in life, roaming the earth to find the children she believes need her protection more than their own families.
When she appears, she doesn't look like the woman she once was. Witnesses describe her as being toweringly tall, almost reaching the branches of the palm trees. Her most distinct and disturbing feature is her pendulous breasts, which she uses to hide and nurture the children she takes. She wraps them in her hair or tucks them away so they are invisible to the human eye. It's said that if you're taken by her, you enter a trance-like state. You aren't being hurt, but you're being fed things that look like delicious food, but are actually, well, let's just say they are things found on the forest floor, like worms and insects.
The timing of her hunt is very specific. In Indonesia, there's a time called Maghrib, the transition between day and night. It's a sacred and dangerous time. Parents constantly warn their kids, don't play outside during Maghrib or Wewe Gombe will get you. It's more than just a bedtime story. If a child is feeling unloved or if their parents are fighting, Wewe Gombe senses that sadness. She descends from her nest, which is usually high up in the aren or sugar palm trees, and gently lures the child away. They don't scream, they just walk into the dark following a motherly voice that isn't their own.
So, what happens if she takes a child? The village goes into a frenzy. This isn't a search party with flashlights and dogs, it's a spiritual rescue mission. To get a child back from Wewe Gombel, the community performs a ritual called niru. They gather kitchen utensils, mostly bamboo trays and wooden spoons, and march through the village making as much noise as possible. The clanging and banging are meant to annoy the spirit. She hates the cacophony of human life. It breaks her trance, and eventually she becomes so irritated that she simply drops the child in a place where they can be found, usually on a rooftop or hidden in a thorny bush.
But here's the kicker. The child is often found completely naked or in a state of deep confusion. They have no memory of where they've been, only that they were with a nice lady who fed them treats. It takes days, sometimes weeks, for the child to return to normal. The curse of Wewe Gombel isn't just about the kidnapping. It's a permanent scar on the family. It serves as a public shaming of the parents. Everyone in the village now knows that the spirit found a reason to take that child. It's a haunting reminder to the community to cherish and watch over their little ones with more care.
Modern psychologists often look at the Wewe Gombel myth as a social tool. Before there were fences or streetlights, the jungle was a dangerous place for a wandering toddler. By personifying the danger as a terrifying woman, elders could ensure kids stayed close to home. But even today, in the age of smartphones and high-speed internet, people in rural Java still take the threat very seriously. There are countless modern accounts of children disappearing at sunset, only to be found in impossible places, like the top of a 30-foot tree without a single scratch on them. How do you explain that with logic alone? If you ever find yourself in the beautiful countryside of Indonesia as the sun begins to set, pay attention to the sounds. If the birds suddenly go quiet and the wind picks up, you might want to head indoors. Some say they've seen a tall, pale figure standing just at the edge of the woods, beckoning with a long, spindly hand. The locals will tell you to never look her in the eye. If you do, she might think you're a child who has lost their way, and once she decides you belong to her, she is very, very hard to shake off. The curse is real to those who have lived through it.
The story of Wewe Gombel is a chilling mixture of tragedy and terror. It reminds us that our actions as protectors have consequences, and that the spirits of the past are always watching how we treat the future. Whether she's a monster or a misguided soul, her presence is a staple of the night that isn't going away anytime soon. Moody tale that keeps the heart of Indonesian folklore beating, even in the dead of night.
So, what do you think? Is Wewe Gombel just a story to keep kids in line? Or is there something truly supernatural lurking in those sugar palm trees? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had a creepy experience at sunset that you couldn't explain? Maybe an urban legend from your own hometown that's similar? Let's get a conversation going below. I'm always looking for new legends to explore. So if you have a favorite ghost story, don't be shy. Share it with the community and let's keep the mystery alive together.
Thanks so much for hanging out and exploring the darker side of history with me today. If you enjoyed this dive into the curse of Wewe Gombel, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to stay updated on all things spooky and mysterious from around the world, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. We have plenty more chilling tales coming your way very soon. Until next time, stay safe, watch the clock as the sun sets, and keep your loved ones close. Bye for now.